What's going on, y'all? It's your boy Darius Bills, and in this video we're going to go over specifically how to decode the VIN number on a 1981 GM passenger car. And I'm doing specifically 1981 because I am currently LS swapping my 1981 Chevy Caprice 4-door, and I'm just wondering mostly if the 305 that came out of my car, the 5.0, was actually original to the car, because my car is a base model that has manual windows, manual locks, and it didn't even get the option for the passenger side mirror. So something is telling me that it did not come with a V8 from the factory. So like I said, this is going to be specific to a 1981 GM passenger car, as they call it. So you should be able to look this up for your VIN number for your vehicle pretty much the same way. So let's get into it. The website that I'm using is gsi.ext.gm.com/dealerworld/VIN cards/PDF/VIN card 81.pdf. I will have that link in the video description below. But hey, let's get into it. All right, so first of all, my VIN number. I'm not giving you the whole VIN number, just the VIN number part that actually goes with the video for decoding, because the last, I think it's 5 digits of the VIN number is unique to the car itself. So my VIN number is 1G1AN69K5BJ. Yes, that's BJ as in blue. We see up top that basically what we're going to be looking at is numbers 1 through 11. That's going to be our main prerogative for this right here, 1 through 11. So where it's built is made by General Motors, the make, the restraint system, the series, the body type, the engine type, check digit, whatever that means, the model year, and then the plant in which it was made. And each of these numbers correspond to a little key code down below. So let's get into it. The first number of my VIN is 1. So that means it is US built. So the first number of your VIN was 2. It would be Canadian built. And then the second for mine is G, which I think for all of these will be G, because G is General Motors. And then the third for mine is going to be 1. So we take the 3 here, go down to the 3 here, and 1 means that it is made by Chevrolet. So if you have, let's say, a 1981 box Caprice and your third number is 3, that means that somebody probably took it off a Delta 88. Your car's probably been VIN swapped, you know. But if your car first number was 2, then that means that your third number will probably be 7. Because if it's Canadian built, then it will be GM of Canada. For number 4, mine is A. So that's going to be the restraint system or the seat belts. So if we go down to number 4, A is going to be non-passive manual belts, which is what mine has. If yours was a B, it would be passive automatic belts. And if it was C, it would be passive inflatable, which I don't know what inflatable belts are. So I will definitely probably do some Googling. And if I figure out what it is, I'll put a little screenshot of what passive inflatable refers to. Because to me, it sounds like airbag seatbelt, which doesn't make a whole lot of sense. We're going to 5. So 5 is going to be the series, and then mine is a letter N. So for this one, you got your car line series. So you got Chevrolet, Pontiac, Oldsmobile, Buick. So, you know, all of these have the letter N. So of course, Pontiac N is Bonneville, Oldsmobile N is Delta 88, and then Buick N is LeSabre. But we don't have any of those. We got a Chevrolet. So the N for the Chevrolet will be Caprice Classic, which is what we have. Where are we? So 6.7 is going to be the body type. which on mine it is 6'9". So if we go to 6.7 and go to 6.9, we have sedan 4-door notchback, which is what I have. So far, this VIN number thing is kind of checking out. All right, so that was 6.7. So for 8, we're going to engine type. And this is the one that I'm curious about because I pulled a 305 out of my car. And when I looked up the number on the back of the block, it actually correlated to a 1981 to 1985 305. So it had the correct year model engine block in the car, but it also had a quadrijet carburetor on it as well. So let's go to number, what are we on? Number 8. And my number 8 is a K. So we're going to go to number 8. And then we're going to go down to K. So K is a 3.8 liter, which should be a V6. Because I think the smallest V8 they had was the 267 4.4 liter. So my car came with a 3.8 liter V6 with a 2-barrel carburetor. So at some point in my car's life, at least when my great granddaddy Kite got it, it had been swapped to a 305 5 liter. I'm not sure what division usage refers to or producing division, but my car originally came with a 3.8 liter V6 with a 2-barrel carburetor. So it makes sense because my car is a base model with manual windows, manual doors, and like I said, they didn't even option up for the passenger side rear door mirror. But my car had cruise control, which is a very weird option to add when it is a pure base model car. Number 9 is going to be check digit, which we don't have a number 9 here, so I'm not sure what check digit refers to. Number 10 is, mine is a B, which I guess all of them would be B, since B is 1981, which is when it was made. And then my 11 is a J, and that's going to be the plant in which the car was assembled. So we go down to 11 and find J. That looks like Janesville. Is W.I. Wyoming? Oh, Wisconsin. So the car was produced in Janesville, Wisconsin. So if you're from Janesville or have ever heard of Janesville, Wisconsin, then what's up? Leave a comment. So now I'm wondering, I'm going off on a tangent. I wonder if that plane is still there. Probably not. Opened in 1919, and it looks like it's still there. Janesville plant to take ownership of GM assembly plant site. Oh, it's there, but it probably hasn't been opened. 240 acres. So it opened up in 1919 and closed in April 2009. Huh. All right. Cool. So what we figured out today is that my Caprice was U.S. built. It's a General Motors vehicle. It is a Chevy. Manual belts. Caprice Classic. Sedan 4-door notchback. Came with the 3.8 liter V6 with the 2-barrel carburetor. Built in 1981. Assembled in Janesville, Wyoming. So, yeah. So the important part of this is just kind of verifying some things for your vehicle, and then also making sure that the VIN number that's on your car is actually for your car, because it very well could not be. I've seen it happen. So yeah, if you're ever curious about your car, you should be able to just simply just look up and decode it, and I'm sure there's a website or a Reddit somewhere that has the explanation of your VIN number breakdown. This looks like it was something that was actually GM and somebody scanned in, because this looks like a legit official document. But let's say for my 2007 Yukon, LMC truck, yeah, so I just typed in 2007 GMC VIN Decode, and then basically you would just go through, figure out which one is yours. Mine is a 2007, and then it tells you what your first set of numbers stand for, you know, whether it is built in the United States, you know, if it's a truck, if it's an SUV, whatever, you know, whatever your gross vehicle weight is and series and all that stuff. So it should be pretty easy to Google and be able to take your VIN number and decode it and see where it was made. For a truck, you'll be able to know what the gross vehicle weight is, the model, the body type, if you want to know what motor it came with. So maybe what I'll do is that the donor vehicle that I got my LS swap from, maybe I will do that one next and decode and see where that truck was actually made, because I'm actually not sure, because that truck has a pretty good amount of rust on the door and the body. So maybe I will decode that one, even though I know it's a 2002 GMC Yukon SLT two-wheel drive 5.3 with 4L60E. You know, with the trucks, I believe it tell you what the gear ratio is and the motor code and all that stuff. So yeah, if you have any questions below or need any help, just let me know. But I will have the link to this in the comment section below. So if you do have a 1981 GM passenger car, you should be able to decode it just fine with this link. If you have any other requests, let me know, and I will try to drop the link to that page where you can decode yours in the comments below. Also, if you're from Janesville, Wisconsin, or if you ever heard of it, or if somebody worked there in that plant, in that GM plant, let me know. Comment down below. I'd love to hear from y'all. All right. Happy New Year. Y'all take care.